Here is finally a look at the Fluffy Encounter set. Came out recently now in 2021. And I think this set gets a lot of hate actually. And maybe it's deserved, but maybe it's a bit too much in my opinion. And I'll go into what I like and what I don't like about this set, starting with the minifigures, which is one of the things that I kind of feel like they could have done something more with, but at the same time, I feel like, well, I understand what Lego's limitations were. So here we have Golden Hermione, which I think is this is just the same as all the other Golden minifigures. It's just a basic Hermione in gold with stars on her torso, and on her back it says 20 years Lego Harry Potter. And that's basically everything for this figure. And also no back printing for her head. So yeah, her face is one-sided, and I think that's fine for what this figure is supposed to be. So yeah, nothing special here. This is just the same as all the other golden figures. And here's Harry. It's a basic Harry, nothing special, and I do like the fact that they're now using the torsos with the capes on, so it's not just the gray sweater, because, well, I have enough of those, and I kind of do have enough of these too, because I've been collecting, or back in 2018 I collected those collectible minifigures, so I got a whole bunch of these kinds of torsos. So I do have enough of them too, but we're getting them for all the houses now, and I think that's great. So I think the torso is good. And about the head, this is the same one we've had ever since 2018. There's nothing new here, and I think that is fine in one way. At the same time, I feel like it's kind of limiting, and this set could have benefited from having a bit more exclusivity, and maybe new face prints could have been one way to do that, to make it more special and attractive to people who wouldn't be drawn in otherwise. And the same goes for the rest of the characters. So here's basic Ron, and he has a different torso, but this is just another variant of the same kind of caped torso, and with the gray sweater underneath. And Ron, he has this other expression, and there's nothing new here. His head is the same as we've had before. And the same goes for Hermione. She is just plain Hermione. She's using the same torso as Harry is actually. And her second head print is this one. And we've seen this before. So nothing special. And I think for this set, really, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, those are the figures you definitely do want with it. And based on the size of it, kind of, like, I think 3 figures, 4 counting the golden one, is not bad. I think it's fine. At the same time, we are paying a bit more for this one, so maybe having an extra figure could have also made this set better. But it's not a deal breaker for me. I mean, I'm getting them anyway. But then there's the question of, well, who would you include as a fourth figure? I mean, yeah, I think Neville, since he was in the book, he could be an option. Like, he was with them when they first encountered Fluffy in the book. But yeah, I don't think they would do that anyway. Like, even if they considered that, I think they wouldn't do that, since that's not the way it happened in the movie. Now, here's a look at Fluffy. And this is something that a lot of people don't like. People don't like the Fluffy. And I think for what it is, I think it's fine. The build of the body is good enough for me. And it actually doesn't bother me. People say that it's a bit jarring to have these sculpted heads with the prints on, and then have a built body. That we should have had a sculpted body to go with the heads, or brick built heads to go with a brick built body. So that's something you can argue if you want, but it's for me, this is good enough. And I think this Fluffy is an improvement on the one we got back in 2001. And I may actually make a comparison video comparing this one to that one, if you want. This is, in my opinion, an improvement, because the old one, you couldn't move the legs, you couldn't move anything other than the heads. You could open the mouths, and it was kind of a weird look. This one has some articulation. You can both move all the legs like this, and you can bend them at the knees. So let's see here. Yeah, you can do that. So there's some possibility for posing this Fluffy, and you can lay him down like this, and that's definitely a huge plus compared to that other set. That other version of Fluffy. I think this is definitely an improvement, and I think for that, I mean, that's just a huge plus. You also get a tail that you can move, and move side to side. So there's articulation in the tail even, and the heads, since they're on ball joints, you can move them around too, however you want, but it's a bit limited too. Like, you can move it up, but since they get in the way of each other, you have to kind of choose how you want to pose this guy. Now, that was also a problem with the old one, so that's not something I'm complaining about, really. I mean, this is the reality of having a dog with 3 heads. I mean, they do get in the way of each other, and I think that's just fine. Now, this is what they look like inside. So they have kind of this hollow inside, and they're kind of flat at the bottom here. So you can lay them flat. But yeah. One thing I do like is the fact that they give us specific prints. So we have 3 different types of head, even though the sculpt is the same. So we have one with both eyes open and angry, one who looks kind of angry but has one eye closed, and one who is just sleeping and drooling. So you can get multiples of these if you get multiples of the set, or if you order extra heads from Bricklink. And that way you can just make a Fluffy that's sleeping with all the heads asleep, or a Fluffy that's angry with all the heads awake. And I think that's what I'll probably do in the future. I mean, I do collect these sets, and it's likely that I'll get extra Fluffy heads at least. So yeah, that's a look at Fluffy. And I've seen some complaints too about his gray areas here, that this is just funny looking, but he's got gray where the ball joints connect, and I think, yeah, you can say that. It does kind of stick out. Would have been better to maybe have it in black or something, but I think this specific piece just doesn't come in a lot of colors. So they were limited on what they could do, but it doesn't bother me, even though I know it does bother some people. And yeah, but I think this is overall a pretty okay Fluffy, and an improvement. That's the main thing, and probably the best we're going to get. I mean, okay, maybe they'll make another version of Fluffy in another 20 years, but who knows. Here's the harp build, which I think is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. This is a nice little harp build, and you can see here how it connects, and it's got this transparent flag piece here with a sticker on it to show the strings, and it's maybe not perfect, but I think it's close enough. So this is definitely on the plus side for this set. Now, looking at the build. Oh yeah, also, here's a look at some of the accessories. We get 2 wizard cards. These are the ones I got, the random, so you'll get other ones, I'm sure. And extra pieces. And now looking at the set here, build. From the outside, I think this is it's funny because I think it was M&R Productions. He mentioned that this kind of looks like a miniature Great Hall set, because you could, from the outside, this could look like just, okay, here's the Great Hall, and here's the big tower with Hogwarts. And so kids who can't afford, or whose parents can't afford to get one of the Great Hall sets, or one of the versions of that set, or that part of Hogwarts, this is kind of like a mini version of that. So I think that's pretty cool, actually. And further confirmation of this, when I went to buy this, I showed a picture to the people in the store. I was like, hey, do you have this set? Because it wasn't on the shelves. And they're like, oh yeah, think we do. So they brought it from the back. And the one person was like, oh, isn't that this one? And I was like, no, that's the Great Hall set. So even like from my picture showing them this set, looking like on the box there, like one of the people confused it for the Great Hall set because it looks similar at a glance. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then, well, definitely, I mean, for kids, this is something that they could just imagine being Hogwarts that way. Like this is just a mini version. And the inside looks like this. And I think it's fine, maybe a bit limited. So here's a space where you put Fluffy in. The 3rd floor corridor, this is supposed to be with a trapdoor. And yeah, I think this is just plain. There's nothing special about this. There's a bit of meat back in the corner, and there's some lights, and here's the devil's snare that's actually supposed to be underneath here, but you can orient this in a different way and then it can actually be down there. And here's some balcony place, and here's the top with some space for maybe making potions or something. And you'll notice I didn't apply the last sticker here. Here are the stickers, and I put on the harp sticker and this little shield sticker, and then these two stickers. But then I didn't want to apply this one because I felt like I want to do something else with this one, so I didn't actually put it on. But this one here, this is supposed to be on the inside of the green roof. So this is what it looks like, and it's supposed to go in here, but I didn't feel like putting it there because, yeah, I actually almost never use stickers, but I've started now for these reviews because I feel like I should show you what the stickers look like, be able to make a real review of these sets. So yeah, with these new sets being modular, you can move these around, and this is one piece, this is one piece, this is one piece, and this is one piece. If I can just take it off with one arm. And then you can do this. And I guess you can put this on. So yeah, very simple to move these around. And now we have Fluffy's trapdoor going down to the Devil's Snare. And yeah, I think this Devil's Snare is actually kind of lacking. I think this is not too special. I mean, I think the one we got back in 2001 was actually better with the build they had, and they even had a play function where you could have it squeeze the person falling down. And I think that was much better than this. So this is a step down. But I think they did it because of the limited space. But at the same time, they could have made it in a different way. They could have made this set so that it wasn't two small little sections like this. They could have made one big lower section and maybe expanded the Devil's Snare a bit. But that's... Or they could have divided up into more sets. I mean, that's also a possibility. But I think this Devil's Snare is kind of lacking. But I'll show you here using Ron. If we drop him down, he doesn't get stuck there now. Maybe the second time. No. Maybe I'll angle this more. No. Maybe I should just make it a bit more like that. So maybe he'll stick in now. Nope. Yeah. I think you can see the flaw here. Yeah. It's not perfect and could be improved a lot, I think. But also just the color. Why are these black? I think it should be green, or dark green at least. So yeah, this is one thing I think could have been improved, and just I guess I'll show you the front here. When you have this look, which I think maybe it kind of works, but at the same time, I don't know. I think maybe I'll make a custom version of the lower section here. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, one other thing that I think is kind of lacking with this set is, you see this here? These open studs. And we have some here too. I think that's definitely a big minus. For me at least, design-wise, I think it looks so ugly to have these hollow studs be exposed like this. And to me, that just makes this kind of uglier. So you can, and I probably will, make custom modifications to hide those and make it look a bit better. So yeah, but that's a separate issue for maybe a future video, and this has been going on for too long anyway. But this was my look at this little set, and yeah, I think overall some of the things that people are complaining about are not so huge issues to me, and maybe I have other things that are issues that I think could have been better. But either way, if you have any other thoughts or things that you like or dislike about this set, you can let me know in the comments, and we could have a discussion. But either way, these were my spontaneous thoughts on this set, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.